Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Georgi Matveev, sitting here at David's Guitar Loft Lesson Studio in Webster Groves, Missouri, right outside St. Louis. And today, I'm gonna give you some more spice and sweetness in your life, okay? We're talking about chords and what you can do to spice it up, kind of like we did with the power chord thing, but now we're gonna talk about seconds, minor seconds, major seconds, and that dissonant interval. When you blend two notes that are really close together, you get this really pretty interval, and some people don't like it. It's a little too haunting, too sharp maybe. It can be abrasive if you don't know how to use it properly. If you're a little dingus and don't know how to properly use these chords, yeah, they can be harsh. Sometimes harsh is the vibe. I'm here enhancing your life, dude, okay? You understand that? So what you could do for us, real quickly, give us a quick subscription. It's totally free. Just hit the button. Helps me out. Boss man really appreciates it. Anyway, let's talk guitars. We're going to do a little bit of theory jargon. Nothing too crazy here. We're going to talk about seconds. What seconds are? It's just the next note, right? So if you're playing an A note, right? If this is an A, there's B, there's your major second. Or if you do a minor second or a flat second, flat 2, right? Then you got the Jaws vibe, right? The Jaws theme song. Right? That whole bit. Flat second. So you see, there's an example for you, dude. This kind of stuff is used at freaking movies. So if we take, let's say, a sus 9 chord or sus 2 chord, however you want to call it, right? So let's take C right here. The notes we're playing real quick. We have C, 3rd fret, 5th string. We have 5th fret on the 4th string. And then we have 7th fret on the 3rd string. The notes are C, G, and then D. C, G, D. And so some people will call this a sus 2 because the D facilitates as the 2 in this case. I like to call it a sus 9 because of how far away the note is from the root position, right? And this is more for just communicating with other musicians. If I'm talking to pianists, I'm doing like a sus 9 thing, the pianist will know that's the interval that we're kind of working with. So if we want to take this and add some more spiciness, but also round it out a little bit so it feels a little bit more complete in a way, because all these suspended chords have this suspended feeling to where they're not really going anywhere. So you can play this, and they don't push or pull you in any one direction. However, we can do this, and then we can add a note on the 2nd string. So let's make this a major chord, right? So the major 3rd in C is E, which is the 5th fret of the 2nd string. There's your E, right? So we have C, G, D, and then E, right? Now this one might be a little tough, and I'll have tabs somewhere up here or down here. Somewhere in this video there will be tabs showing you how to play this. And throwing in that major 3rd really just kind of rounds it out. We're creating a world, and this is the foundation of that world. Right? Maybe you don't feel like that, but that's how I feel, dude. And this is my video and you're watching it, so that's the rules. And this is a little tricky because we're playing this big stretch across 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and my index finger is just kind of hopping back and forth between the 3rd fret of the 5th string and then 5th fret of the 2nd string. But what this does is not only does it give us this major 2-9 interval between here, but it also gives us this major 2nd interval between the D note and the E note, which I think is kind of cool. So it's just stacks on stacks of 2s, brother. And then you can take this and just apply it to different chords. So let's say we are in the key of C major, right? So we're gonna play a C. And then we go to D, right? And the 2 chord in any major key is a minor chord, am I right? I'm right. So now we take this sus9 shape and we move it up a whole step. So now we're playing 5, 7, and 9. Right? So we have D, A, E. And now we're going to play the minor third, which is going to be the 6th fret of the 2nd string. And we're playing a minor third because the 2nd chord in C major is a minor chord, right? Major, minor, right? That's why. And again, we got that sus9 major 2 thing going on. And now we have this really close flat 2 interval between the E and the F on the 3rd and 2nd string, right? So now we have this. Which to me sounds pretty cool, right? And it makes that so much more interesting. Now when you put those 2 chords together, let's say instead of playing the C major chord, let's do the cowboy version. Try that. So here's like C, and here's D minor, right? That's fine, that totally works. But to me, that just has a lot more depth to it. There's just a lot more interesting factors going into there. Because now we can just call this a C major add 9 chord. It's really what it is. Because the first half, or the first 3/4 of it, you think, oh, C sus9. Ooh, but then we get hit with that major third, doggy. And when we get hit with the major third, it becomes a C major chord with an added 9th. Thing with this though, if we are playing in the rules of C major, right? And we're following diatonically the notes in there, and we can't stray from the path of that. We go to E because we run into a problem here because this E sus9 chord doesn't work in C. Now it works in music, okay? Like I'm not gonna say you can't play this. It can. It's music. You write the music first and then you analyze it and do the theory stuff afterwards. But for this practice, this doesn't quite work well for what we're trying to build, right? You just take this. You have E on the 7th fret. You have B on the 9th fret, and then you have F sharp on the 3rd string, 11th fret. F sharp on the 11th fret, 3rd string. F sharp is not in the key of C. That's why I'm saying this wouldn't work, you know, in theory. But don't just take that with a grain of salt. Don't make that your, you know, the laws that you abide by, right? These rules are meant to be broken. However, let's follow it to keep things interesting and cohesive in this world we're making, right? So now we have to lower that F sharp to F. So now we have this very spicy, right? And that's very jarring, right? Because now what we got going on here, it's like a E flat 2, flat 9, and it's very spicy. We don't like it, but we'll make it work. 7th fret, 5th string, 9th fret, 4th string, 10th fret, 3rd string, and then 8th fret of the 2nd string. That's your G. So that's the minor 3rd in the key of E. Still have that major 2nd thing between the F and the G, which is nice, but now we have a little bit extra spiciness because of that, F natural. Because that F natural is the flat 9, flat 2 in E, and it has that tritone between the B and the F. It is a spicy chord, but dude, spicy chord's okay if you can handle it, right? We can turn this into a chord progression. Let's move it up one more to F, okay? Now we're playing F. We can go back to playing the sus9 major shape like we did for C, where we have 3, 5, 7, 5. We can apply that same fingering starting on the 8th fret. So on the 5th string, 8th fret, we have 8, 10, 12, 10. And that sounds lovely. So now we sit and ponder. We have C major, we have a D minor, we have a really spicy E minor, and then we have F major. Let's see how we can turn that into some kind of fun chord progression. And I know I'm playing over like a very gainy, distorted tone. That's okay, dude. We'll make it work. So we'll start with C to establish our root position. And then we'll move to D. Then we'll move to F major. Then we'll move to E. Then we'll move to D. Then we'll just resolve back to C. So the chord progression will go C, D, F, E, D, and then C, and it sort of repeats like that. And here's what that sounds like. Something like that, right? That sounds cool. I'm sure there's other variations with that. Let's hear how C, F, E, D sounds like. That sounds kind of cool. You get the idea here. And now this, to me, it's just a completely different palette of chords and tones you can use for songwriting or whatever. It's a great finger exercise, right? These chords are kind of tricky. There's a lot of stretching going on in there, but very, very useful and beneficial. And yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up with all that. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, let me know what you think. I pay attention to this stuff, okay? Your feedback is noticed, and I listen and I make adjustments to the videos accordingly to whatever criticisms you guys leave me. So please comment. Let me know what you think. If there's a specific subject you'd like me to cover, or a song or technique or whatever it may be, let us know in the comments. Subscribe, like the video, stay up to date. We got new videos coming out every week. You don't want to miss them. And if you're in the Webster Groves area, St. Louis, come on into the shop. Play some guitars, play some amps, take a lesson with me or one of our other instructors here. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.